Hey lovelies, I'm Larissa J and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. Today we're talking about birth control, specifically non-hormonal birth control. I have been using this form of birth control for a few years now, and I think that it is absolutely amazing and I would recommend it to anyone. So first I want to throw out a disclaimer. One, this is not like medical advice. I'm just sharing with you my experience, what I know, and everything that I've researched. The second thing is I'm a believer and I believe in sex within the context of marriage. So that is the audience that I am talking to, is those who are married or preparing for marriage. Now, this particular method anyway is suggested to be used only by those who are in a monogamous relationship. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. Just keep that in mind. Now, a little bit of background for me. For those of you who don't know and are new to my channel, my husband and I were virgins and we were saving ourselves for marriage before we got married. So I did not have a need for any type of birth control before getting married. My cycles were regular and I didn't have any issues with them. When I got engaged to my husband, I quickly realized I need to figure something out. At first, my first thought was to simply just go get a prescription for a birth control pill because that's what everybody does, right? But after being prayerful and talking to, he was my fiance at the time, we decided that a non-hormonal route would be the best option for us. And so I started doing my research and digging. For me, I use and recommend the fertility awareness method. It is also known as FAM. I personally use a symptothermal method. There are other methods within fertility awareness. It is not the rhythm method or anything like that. I know a lot of times that's the initial question. It's like, oh, the rhythm method doesn't work. It's not that. So this is a symptothermal method. And so one of the biggest suggestions that I would have for you first and foremost is to, one, do your research, but two, this book right here. Y'all, this book right here, this is a really great book. It has so much information in it. It's called Taking Charge of Your Fertility, and it is by Tony Weschler. This is an awesome book. When I first learned about the fertility, like the moment that I heard about it, and I kept seeing people refer to this book, I made sure that I checked it out. I made sure that I bought it, and it was a really nice investment because you can always go back to it. On here, it says it is a guide to natural birth control, pregnancy achievement, and reproductive health. So this kind of covers all of the bases, whether you're trying to prevent pregnancy, trying to achieve a pregnancy, or just have questions about your reproductive health. It covers it all. The great thing is, you don't have to read the whole thing cover to cover. I personally did not read it cover to cover, to be completely honest. I kind of just read what was important and applicable to me. And then to this day, sometimes I'll just whip it out if I have questions or if I want to refresh my memory on something. So I would definitely recommend this book. So the way that it works, or at least the way that I use the method, is all I needed to invest in, I bought the book, and then I bought a thermometer. This is the iProven thermometer. I bought it off of Amazon. I've had it for years. Once you buy one, like I think just recently, I had it for like two and a half years. And then I had to replace the battery. So it lasts a really long time and the batteries were cheap. I bought those off of Amazon as well. But that's really all I needed, was to buy the thermometer. So when I was engaged, I bought the thermometer and I started tracking. Before I became intimate, I still practiced the method. And that's a great thing. You can start learning your body and all of that before, you are active. So that's what I did. I bought my thermometer. I got an app on my phone so I can track everything. And that's what I did until the wedding night. And then by that point, I had learned my body really easily, and it didn't take me very long at all. I think there was only like 5 months from my engagement to my wedding anyway. So it was just a few months. I was able to really nail it and learn my body because, like I said, I have regular cycles. Really, all you have to do is wake up. The moment you wake up, before you get up and start going about your day, you would turn your thermometer on, pop it in your mouth, and allow it to take your temperature. Once it beeps and takes your temperature, then you're going to look at the temperature that it gives you, plug it into your phone app. I personally use Kindara, and I really like that one. There are plenty of other apps out there, but I like Kindara, so I would plug it into Kindara, put my little temperature in there. It creates a chart for you, which is really awesome. So that was the first step. The second step to this method for symptothermal, what I use is to pay attention to your cervical fluid. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video on ovulation and cervical fluid, be sure to check out the card, check out that particular video where I talked about cervical fluid. It's also in the book. It talks about cervical fluid. Learn the different types of cervical fluid and then learn your body and what your body produces. But after that, you take your temperature every day. That's just like a minute or two. It doesn't take that long. Take your temperature, put it in your phone, and then just throughout the day as you go to the bathroom, you have to go to the bathroom anyway. Just pay attention to any cervical fluid that you might notice as you wipe. And that you can also track in the app. So you use those two. You can also use another fertility sign, which is your cervix. I don't do that, but it's another option for you as well if you want to be extra careful. But I just do my temperature and cervical fluid, pay attention to that, put it in the app, look at my chart, and that is all you need. So basically, when you realize that you are fertile, that means your temperatures are still on the lower end. And it also means that you have cervical fluid, like fertile quality cervical fluid. Then you're in your fertile window. And obviously, you want to take the proper measures to be careful during that time if you're not trying to have a baby. So, in the book, it talks about how you can abstain during that time and do other things, or you can also use a barrier method. Talks about barrier methods like condoms and things like that that you can use. Now, of course, you are at the mercy of that particular method. So if something were to break or to fail, then, but that wouldn't be the fertility awareness method's fault. It would be your barrier method. So just keeping that in mind as well. But there are other things that you can do in the fertile window to prevent pregnancy if you did not want to abstain. Then after that, it's about a week. Usually you have your fertile window. Once the fertile window is over and you're taking your temperatures, you'll notice that your temperatures have increased. They should be a little higher. Once you have 3 consecutive days of high basal body temperatures, that's usually an indication that you have ovulated already. And also, you'll notice that your cervical fluid has dried up and you'll be back at having dry days where there is no fluid, no discharge. And that lets you know that you've ovulated. And so every time you notice that, it is a safe day, as in you cannot get pregnant during that time. And so you don't have to use a barrier method or anything like that. Just continue to pay attention to your temperatures and your fertility signs, and you're good to go until your next period. Once your next period comes around, that as you start to get closer to the end of your period, you want to start paying attention again, really, really carefully to those temperatures and fertility signs, because you know that fertile window is going to open back up just a few days after the end of your period. So if you have regular cycles, if you are married, about to be married, and you're looking for a natural non-hormonal birth control method, I would definitely suggest fertility awareness. It works as long as you follow the rules of the method. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the fertility awareness method or if you've used the fertility awareness method. And if this video was helpful to you, give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.